All righty. Let's get to this offseason. Let's do it. No idea quite how this is going to go down. To be honest, something I just thought about after that loss. What might have happened had Rasmus Andersson not been hurt? It is worth noting, going back to the Calder Cup final for the third time, the Wranglers, who I believe are 1-1 in the finals. We might be 1-2. But Calgary draws the Rochester Amerks in the Calder Cup final. And we will see if that is another one there. Art, that's not true. They have plenty of times in the past. Oh, man. 9-1 in Game 3. Ladies and gentlemen, either the ultimate choke job. Thank you. Or your Calder Cup champions, the Calgary Wranglers, for the second time, while Chicago did ultimately win the Stanley Cup over the New York Rangers, no less. So maybe no shame in losing to the inevitable Cup champions, especially given that we won at least one extra game over them, as opposed to what the Rangers were able to pull off. But I knew Chicago was going to be dangerous. Of course, they don't have to deal with the whole President's Trophy curse. I imagine Roman Kanserov has won the Conn Smythe, Zara Bedard. Of course, Lucas Reichel, his only game-winning goal of the playoffs. Game 6 overtime against us. Let's take a look at the awards. There's now 3 straight cups for the Western Conference after the Eastern Conference started off very hot. Austin Matthews is your Art Ross winner, 2030. Connor Bedard wins the Hart Trophy for the first time. Quinn Hughes wins another Norris, first time in a while, though. Lady Bing to William Nylander. Calder does go to Edmonton's Crips. Conn Smythe to Kanserov. Ravensburgen wins the Vezina. Not surprised. Jennings to Andrianov, though. That's nice. Masterton to Antonio Gibson, second year in a row. Jack Adams to the Islanders coach. Selke to Sasha Barkov for the second time in 3 years. The Finns are dominating that trophy right now. Ted Lindsay Award to Austin Matthews, and the Rocket Richard to Austin Matthews. In the AHL, Andrew Mangiapane was the top point scorer. He was also league MVP. Dude named Stashny scored the most goals. Dude named Nordlund was the top rookie. I think that's Cam Allen, best defenseman for Hershey. Nicholas Koko, top goaltender. And the MVP of the playoffs, Adar Suniev. Not who I would have expected, but Adar Suniev for your Calder Cup champion Calgary Wranglers, second time in 4 years. Suniev being a two-way, I really wouldn't have expected him to do that, but of course, because the season's over, call-ups are going to be weird, so can't fully trust what those numbers look like, which is fine. So let's find out. We have the draft coming up. Obviously, have the lottery as well. And we have 4 first-round picks this year. We did not win the lottery, though. Tampa moves up from 5. We hold at 6, thanks to Pittsburgh, but not too bad to make the Final Four and have a 6th overall pick. But the Tampa Bay Lightning, the big winners of that lottery. If we look at the upcoming class, yeah, the 6th really isn't the one to have. We'll see if there's a way to trade into the top 5, and to be honest, LeBlond or Huxley would both be pretty nice in case we lose a certain offensive defenseman. Confirmed wheels and edges for Huxley. Both of them have confirmed wheels. So trading up into the top 3 seems like the right idea. Wyman's probably going to be a defensive defenseman. We'll see what his status is at the draft. Is Kadri gone? I don't think he is. Kucherov is gone. massive point total drop off from there. Nazem Kadri is coming back. That's insane. Erik Karlsson's gone. Victor Hedman, Morgan Riley, Alex Pietrangelo. That is insane that Nazem Kadri didn't retire. And in goal, Freddie Anderson and Jacob Markstrom, the two big names to move on from there. Fourth liner next year, Nazem Kadri. I'm not opposed. Not opposed. So that brings us the 2030 drafts. Anybody want to trade up in that top 5? No. Doesn't mean we're not able to pull it off. But it's something to think about, especially with LeBlanc or Huxley. The fact that LeBlanc's 17, though. I mean, dude, they're literally like set up the same way. It's crazy. Another elite lower down. Don't believe so. You do have someone like Vesa Kurvinen, who is okay, but not a made. There is actually another medium elite on the way down. Fair enough. Nightingale. Ooh. Not that we need another top-notch right wing. But Nightingale is there. Trevor Forbes isn't bad, but he's 2 years out. Anybody else with crazy grades? Worth keeping an eye on. LBL check we don't know enough about. There's a guy with a couple of B's there. Akam Ustorf, NHL ready, medium 4 defenseman at 31. That's not bad. He's the last one, though, that's going to have a really solid overall. There is that low lead, obviously, there in Moan. The old Moen. I would still like to trade up to get that second pick from Anaheim. If possible. And it should be possible because of the extra draft capital that we have. Not really looking to get rid of anybody. Although technically we do have... Actually, that's right. We already got rid of the other goalies. Riley's up to 75 already. Jesus. Of course, Anderson still has great trade value if we wanted to move him. There is Edwards, who's a 57 at 19. Edwards can definitely be used to get this next pick. Definitely. Motto at a low elite, not worth that much. Ballard's not bad. So yeah, if we were to use Edwards and draft picks to trade up, I think this would work out pretty well. What if we use that 22nd from Buffalo? How close are we? I mean, this is us just robbing Anaheim, but we didn't have any restrictions. What if we had a second round pick? Still not enough. What if we add another second round pick? Still not enough. What if we add a third second round pick? All right, we might have to use... I want to keep the 6th overall pick if I can. What about the 29th selection as well? So 2 firsts and Edwards? Still not enough. It's going to be expensive, but it's worth it. Chicago's second at 64th. And what about the 61st? Still no. What about the 2 highest of these second round picks? Still no. Shit. 3 first round picks along with Edwards for the 2nd overall. Is that enough? Still no. And the 64th from Chicago. Still no. And our 61st. Still no. What about the most valuable? Oh, man. Okay. Enough first overall, 83. No matter who we negotiate with, it is going to be expensive. 3 firsts and our most valuable 2nd. Still no. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christmas. I guess maybe we will talk to Nashville after all. For that 3rd overall pick, we're going to offer them something similar. Can we pull off this deal? Give you Edwards. The 22nd and the 30th. What if we add in a second rounder? It's going to have to be another first. Another second rounder. It's going to be expensive no matter what. Hard difficulty, man. If they don't want to trade, they really don't want to trade. I don't think I can pull it off. To get one of these top-notch defensemen, I don't think I can pull it off. I mean, maybe I can if I use the 6th. And then trade back up to the 8th. Which is a bit of a pain in the ass. Let's talk to Anaheim again. What if we use the 6th and Edwards? How close are we? Not close enough. What if we use the 30th? Not close enough. What if we go with the 29th? That's insane, dude. And the 45th? This is a lot to give up. Jesus! And they still didn't take it. Really? We're just going to have to go for everybody else except one of those top 2 defensemen. That's all. That's all we can do at this point. Holy hell. All right. Anaheim ends up taking LeBlanc, a 78 overall medium elite offensive defenseman with confirmed wheels. And Nashville takes Huxley, a 79 with wheels and edges. It would be cheaper to then trade for one of those two after they were drafted. Case in point. Case in point. But you know what? Screw them. Screw them. It is what it is. At least for now, until we know what's going to happen with Anderson. So we have the 6th pick. Ooh, Pablo did actually fall to us. Really? Pablo Wyman. One of the teams went off the board. Niagara's Pablo Wyman is there. I'm worried he's going to be a high top 4. I still am probably going to try to trade up for Mitch Nightingale if I can get away with it. But we got to take Pablo here since he fell to us. Well, everything's coming up Millhouse, isn't it? Welcome, Pablo, as a defensive defenseman. Not quite a Zane Parekh replacement, but that is still hilarious to end up with a player of that caliber when we did. Is Seattle willing to negotiate here? I don't even know for who. I mean, I guess Edwards would make sense to give up here. What if we also give up the Bruins pick at 30? Still no. And what if we also give up Chicago's 2nd rounder? Okay, there we go. We do have the 8th overall pick now. So that is Pablo Wyman, and then we will also be able to land Mitch Nightingale. 76 overall medium elite power forward. So that, Jesus Christ, that guy's stat line in junior was nuts. This worked out incredibly well. Incredibly well. Don't think I'll keep that guy as a power forward. Not another Mitch. Hey, the other Mitch was fine for us. Like he was the problem with the team. All right, so if we look, we know in terms of high overalls, there's nobody until further down. Not worth necessarily trading up for medium 6s or medium 4s. Trevor Marquardt's not a guaranteed medium elite. I need guarantees if I'm trading up. Christopher Donald will be a good low elite. Let's pick 26. Chase Bitts. That's what I'm doing, baby. I'm on Twitch. Andrew Dreer. That's a risky pick. And there was Ustorf. Okay. I think picks 26 and 30. We're good to go. So pick number 22. Someone would have offered me a trade, but I said no. Pick number 22, we will go for Christopher Donald. 70 overall, low elite center. Beautiful. No abilities. Listed as a playmaker, but no, he can really kind of be a two-way. He could be whatever. And then pick number 29. Dude, we are knocking this draft out of the park. We're going to take Akam Ustorf, who is a 77 overall, medium top 4 defensive defenseman. So yeah, we hit a home run. Dude, the Leafs, Jesus Christ. What a terrible pick. We, and Montreal for that matter, we did incredibly well. Incredibly well in this draft. With fairly minimal draft pick movement compared to what it looked like it was going to be. I'm pretty happy about that. I don't really think we're going to have to trade up again. I mean, like, Sawyer Nesbitt's not bad. There are some players in this draft coming up. Again, like Drieger's there, but I don't think we had anybody with, like, A's for attributes coming up anytime soon again. No, so it is solely down to potential. So we got some 3 out of 4 medium elites, including quite a few goalies in the mix. Not going to risk trading up for 2 out of 4s. A couple of confirmed low elites. Just can't guarantee if their overalls are that high. 2 years out from Moen. Moen might not... Travis Moen. Son of Travis Moen in our timeline. He might not be that bad, but trading up for, Then we got a couple of confirmed medium 6s. Confirmed medium 4. A couple other guys who are close to it. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to trade up for anything. We'll just kind of see how everything falls into place, and if we miss somebody good, we miss somebody good. It's not a big deal. We already have not enough spots for, with too many people. Yeah, some medium 4s, medium 6s. Nothing crazy. Nothing that we can't also land here. Caden Moen is available. There's also Tikkanen, but we'll go for Caden here. 67 overall, low elite. It's not bad. As long as you can get a low elite that has... Oh my god, we're going to get the other one too. As long as the low elites you get aren't like sub 60 overall, they're still going to be pretty good this year, even though it's not as powerful of a potential as it used to be. We're also going to take the Finn Posse Tikkanen. 66 overall, low elite. Dude, this draft has been awesome for us. My god. And then yet another second round pick. A couple of guys that we could risk it for. Including a Mark Brodeur. Nobody that we're projected to select for a while. Miles Hansen is next, so we can trade away this pick. I think we could trade away both second. Actually, can I pair these together? Get anything half decent? Trevor Zegras, who is incredibly unhappy in Anaheim. Second of 4th in Protoss, so a second this year for a second in the future. Of course, I don't really want players. It's just not what I need right now. Yeah, we'll take a future second from Carolina, because it could be a higher up second. So that's a done deal. Welcome in Protoss, even though there is no way you're going to stay here long term. So first pick of the 3rd round. And that is where we see Miles Hansen. I don't think he's going to be that good. If he's a medium 6, he at least won't be that bad. He was a medium 6. Okay. That's not too bad then for value. We got another pick. Not all that far down the road, but Astles. Jackson Astles. Old Jastles. See, that was what? 85? When's our next pick after this? 70? We can get rid of this pick too. Move on from this one. Actually, in fairness, yeah, we can move on from the next 2. Can we get a future second rounder? 2 fourths. And a medium 6 prospect. Future second rounder from Dallas. That's what we're looking for. And one from Toronto as well, but we'll take the one from Dallas. There we go. So we are still loving life in terms of draft picks. As always, when we don't have restrictions on what we do, it just ends up happening. So we will go... We'll take Astles here. Jesus. 69 overall, medium elite for the 18-year-old Jackson Astles. Jackson Astles. That is kind of crazy. This draft in general has been one of our best ever. It's getting to that point. We're far enough into the draft that we might as well just make these picks. Samu Cart. I mean, yeah, it would just be Kartinen. I was going to say Kartiainen, but that's not it. It's just Samu Kartinen. I'm a little bit worried because he's 20 years old, but I have to say, I'm intrigued. Let's take the 20-year-old goalie. 63 overall, medium elite. That's great trade value. Astles wasn't even an overager, no. Kartinen was, but he's still a medium elite, and that's still easy trade value. We got back-to-back picks here. We are going to go for Swedish center Ludvig Bergfors, who is an overager. We're just hoping for trade value here because this guy sucks. He is a medium 6. Dude, this is outrageous. This is low draft class quality, too. Sean Machias, another overager. We're just hoping for, of course, trade value, and we know he's a medium 6. This is going very well. Very, very well. What else do we have? Who's next? Oof, way down the list. Ruslan Andronov, another overage goaltender. Are you a medium elite, though? Yes, you are. Jesus. Emperor, what's up, man? This is a haul in terms of a draft class. Good Lord. We also go for the man from Denmark, even though he played in Sweden. Nelson Gallant. Low elite at a 53. Okay, that's going to be someone to trade away. He's not going to develop. This has been ridiculous, though. Max, he wishes he could draft a team like this. He fucking wishes. He's pretty good at drafting. I'll give him that. We still have some players left. Let's go for Jorgen Davidson, another overage goalie. The Swede. Medium elite. More trade value. 6th round. Let's go for another overage goalie, the Estonian Stanislav Latipov. Medium starter. And you know what? We'll just trade up to get those last two we were already looking at. We can use this 7th. Oh, dude, we already have 4 second-round picks next year. It's insane. Look at this. Jesus Christ. Who do we have unsigned? Low 6 Albaline we can definitely use here. Yeah, there we go. Boston, enjoy that random Swede who's terrible. They've drafted a lot of terrible Swedes in their time. We will go for Braden Howden, overage Swiss defenseman. 59 overall, low elite. And there was one more left. Gonna have even more picks after the Parak offer sheet. Potentially, yeah. He didn't get offer sheeted last year, though. So, look at this dude. Look at this. Holy shit. We got medium 9 Sloan, a low 6 in Cutler, and 2 low bottom 6s that weren't that great. Just package all these guys together. Get something from the Rangers in the future. Second rounder is going to be way too much, right? Yeah. If we can get a 3rd rounder, that'd be pretty good. Quite far off. Okay, maybe I am going crazy. What about a 4th rounder? There we go. Done deal. And with this final pick that we will make in this draft, we will go for Gabriel Sylvester, another overager from the Calgary Hitmen. Low 6. All right, well, he's instant trade fodder, but I don't know. Maybe this is the year of the overager for the first time since, like, NHL 18. That was an insane draft. Just in terms of the sheer amount of high potentials and NHL-ready players. That was pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. You missed on one pick. Fired, right? All right. But this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting. Rasmus Andersson is a UFA and does not want to come back. We'll talk about him in a minute because let's look at the goalies. Andrianov, qualifying offer. Boat Tiger, qualifying. Axelson, qualifying. Riley is in junior, so we're not even going to sign him yet. He's going to be NHL ready by the time he's eligible. Lyon can go. Grubauer can go. And then we got all these Fargan goalies that are pretty much just trade value. Because none of them are going to make it in time. For the record, Andrianov wants $7.9 million a year. 1 year left is all he'd get for RFAs. 2 years left, actually, is all he'd get for RFA status. He's interested in a 1 year deal. Not so much in an 8 year deal. We'll see what happens with him. Bodiger is willing to sign for dirt cheap right now. Which is kind of nice. We can overspend on the Boat Tiger to get him for 2 years. We'll go 1.3 and a quarter for Bodiger. Axelson should be easy enough to re-sign. 1 year. We will see what happens with Andrianov. I mean, he was amazing, but man, am I always nervous about giving a goalie money. But he was outstanding. And developed some abilities as well. Oh, man. Last Stand, fucking X-Ray, and Showstopper. And honestly, I mean, X-Ray and Showstopper make sense. Dude, we might have to sign him. We might have to. He wants a 5-year deal, which... I mean, I'd rather just sign him for the 8, but he's not willing to go. He wants $9 million if he signs for 8 years, that's why. I mean, it's not like he is inherently against signing a 9-year or an 8-year deal for $9 million. We would have to overspend, though. I don't know what's going to happen with him yet. Defensively, Perek, oh my God, the qualifying offer. I mean, it's still worth it because look at how much he's going to want. There's a real chance we let Zane Perek go on a 4 first-round pick offer sheet. For now, qualified. Kessler, qualified. Grushnikov is a UFA. We can bring him back. Yeah, even for morale purposes. He was bad in the playoffs, but Connor Clifton ended up becoming friends with anybody? Rasmus Andersson? But Rasmus is probably gone because, again, he's the UFA. Uh-huh. Okay. We are going to say goodbye to Connor Clifton. Wong gets the qualifying offer. Bonk? Did start to get close to some of the AHLers. His attribute spread is fucking terrible, though. His defensive awareness, he's not the best skater. Yeah, sorry, but Bonk's on his way out. We'll qualify Brustowitz. Ustorf is being signed immediately because he can go to the AHL. Pablo Wyman is in junior, so we're not going to be able to sign him immediately. Skula, we randomly picked up as an AHL defenseman. He's actually not that bad. We'll keep him. Tikkanen is one of the low elites we actually want to keep. He played for Linköping, and we'll sign him. And then Howden, 19 years old, only a 59. We're going to flip Braden Howden. I think we'll just keep Grushnikov then. 2x2 is honestly not that bad. Yeah, 2x2 for a third pair is not that bad. So Grushnikov is back. Right wing side, Logan Stewart needs a qualifying offer. Strassel needs a qualifying offer. Nightingale is in junior. We'll give Dylan a qualifying offer and see if there's a way to flip him. Jackson Astles, he is in junior. Actually, whoever said he was an overager, you were right, by the way. I stand corrected. Cade Moan can be signed, though. Playing the AHL. And Machias, whatever, he is terrible. We'll move on from him. Left wing side. Pelletier is a UFA. Dude, he's up to an 87. He's a second liner. We might have to let him go. He's too good. Developed puck on the straight. He's too good to keep now. Potter needs a qualifying offer. We know we're going to drop Protoss. Appleby needs a qualifying offer. We might as well keep Parker Bell for the AHL. And then Hansen is terrible and won't be signed. Hargrave is terrible and won't be signed. Yeah, none of those guys are going to be signed. And then center. Nazem Kadri is a UFA. Gustav Skriva gets a qualifying offer. Ballard needs to be signed to his ELC. Richard Skriva needs to be signed. Donald needs to be signed to his ELC because he can play in the AHL. Pouliot is in junior. We'll leave him unsigned. Right. So UFAs, Anderson, Pelletier, and Kadri. Pelletier is probably out. I mean, goalie-wise, we got to figure out what the situation is with Andrianov and Bodiger. We do have $75 million to spend. It's tough to say Andrianov's not worth it because he is. He absolutely is. I'd love to be able to sign him for 2 years. That way he can continue to develop, and then maybe we ship him off in a big-time offer sheet, but we'd have to overspend. And it's looking like we're going to have to overspend for quite a few people anyway. Yeah, we'd really have to overspend for him for that plan to work. I mean, that's 10.5 mil. 10 3/4. Yeah. Okay. Allow me to do some math. So we got Andrianov at 10 3/4. Bodiger, we got to see what he accepts anyway. Defensively, Zane Parekh wants all the money forever and ever, amen. We can get him on a 2-year deal. Similar situation to try and essentially guarantee that if he were to get the offer sheet, that it would be 4 first-round picks. Oh, man. Woo! That's some pricey pond hockey right there. For Parekh, 16 mil for the 2 years. Kessler wants a 6-year deal already. We can do 1 more year for Kessler in terms of developing him up. And then potentially, if we get that big offer sheet for a DFD, actually, in this case, an enforcer, you have to consider it. So that's going to be about 7.5. 7-3. Pretty much $8 million for Kessler. We got to see if we can pull this off, you know? What X factor did Kessler develop? Bouncer and bounce back. He's just a big fan of bouncing. Wong should be cheap enough. Oh, man. Okay. I mean, 4 years that you're still in RFA. I mean, $2 million for a third pair wouldn't be bad. Yeah, honestly. 1.8 for 4 years for Wong. I mean, that's great. And he's still in RFA, and then maybe there's an offer sheet that works out. So we'll see if Alex accepts that. Brewsterwitz. 3 years, still keep RFA status. Skula. Any reason you don't want to give the 7 years to Perek? Because he's expensive as fuck and he no-shows in the playoffs. All right, right wing side. Stewart wants how much? Only $5 million. That's not that bad. If we were to do 3 years, though, to make sure that next time we negotiate a contract that you're still in RFA and we could get compensation if you walk. 6.75 for Stewart. That's not bad. Nostrassel should be cheap enough to sign. And he is. 2 years. I mean, he's going to be a third liner. $1.6 for Nostrassel, 2 years. He's back. Dylan should be cheap enough to sign. Let's see if he accepts that deal, and he does. Left wing side. Potter, we'll go to you first. Just 2 years left. Former Calder winner. Was not too great in the playoffs, though. Regular season, he disappointed a bit, too. We'd have to go 7.25 for Potter, which is all right. Appleby should be cheap enough because he hasn't been playing in the NHL. Yeah, 2-year deal. That should be an auto, and it is. Let's go. Parker Bell. I mean, there's no way anyone's giving us compensation for you, so, I mean, it just made sense to give you a qualifying offer for morale, essentially. So, Parker Bell is back. And then, honestly, with, again, Pelletier, I just don't see how he fits the team. I mean, we'll have to try to keep him happy, essentially. But Pelletier wants a 5-year deal at $6 million with a modified no trade. So that's 6.375. That might be manageable. And then for the center is Nazem Kadri, our captain. Wants a 2-year deal. He's not fucking leaving. Let's go, Nazem. Can I give you like a modified no trade? Like 50% of the league. That's not really going to change too much about the money, is it? The fact he wants over $3 million is fucking nuts to me. But he's still going to be a good fourth liner for us, so 2.5, 2.75. Yeah, 2.75 for Kadri. Honestly, let's do it. And then Gustav Skriva should not be that expensive. 2-year deal's perfect. Let's keep Gustav's around. He is back. His brother, Richard Skriva. 2 years. He's also back. Okay. So we know what the big money deals would be. I need to sim a day to see if anybody accepts an offer. So Kadri's back. Boat Tiger has accepted the qualifying offer already. Brustowitz as well. Wong is back. Skula. That leaves us with $71.25 million. The amount of contracts for us to maintain control, we add all of this together, it comes out to not even close to $70 million. We're going to keep everybody for now. So Andrianov, it was a 2-year deal at 10.75. That way when your deal is up, you are still an RFA. Your overall is going to be higher, meaning if we decide to let you walk, you are going to fetch us that much more money. So 10.75 over 2 years, if he accepts it, which he might not. Anderson, we haven't even talked to yet. Perek was going to be 2 years at 16 mil. So Anderson's going to get whatever the hell's left over. So 2 years at 16 mil. Zane Perek. Technically, a little bit less. 15.75. No guarantees that he takes it, but it's worth negotiating. Kessler was going to be 1 more year at 8 mil. 1 more year at 8 mil for Kessler. Technically a little bit under. 7.8 for the year. Peltier, if we look to keep you, I'd still like him for the third line. I'm willing to give him the contract he's looking for. There's just no guarantees that we keep him at all. One could argue this is a terrible deal to hand out, but he was really, really good last year. So we're going to do that and see if he'll take it. Stewart, it was about 7 mil. 3 years at 6.75. She might have lowered his cost a little bit, and he has 6.6 for 3 years. Would still be an RFA at the end of it. And then Potter, it was about 7.25 for 2 years. Max out that interest. 7.25. And if we can get everybody else signed, we can just send whatever money we have left, basically, to Anderson. Got 7.1 for Potter. All right, let's see what happens. Pelletier is back. Potter is back. Andrianov. Stewart. Perek. Kessler. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. 23 million left to bring in Rasmus Anderson on a 1-year deal because Jesus Christ, he wants all the money in the world. And then we might obviously want to save ourselves just a smidge of money, so he still might end up with a clause to get us over the top. Oof, I don't even know if we're going to be able to do this even with the no movement. How close can we get? What if we go like 20 mil? I still want some money to spend in free agency. Well, outside of dudes that weren't signed, this is insane if the game can even accept this offer. Max contract for Rasmus Anderson, 1-year deal with a no movement clause. We'll see if he takes it. And he does. $3.1 million to spend. Everybody is coming back, including Rasmus Anderson, on a 1-year deal, max contract. Perek, 2 years at 15, nearly $16 million. Trying to keep the timeline for the core alive.